So guys, what is going on? I hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are staying safe. So guys, Mike Tyson has said that he wants to see Floyd Mayweather rematch Pacquiao. He was talking, I think he was talking on Instagram Live with Zab Judah. And he basically said that Floyd shouldn't be fighting guys like Logan Paul. He's too big. He's fighting cruiserweight heavyweights. You know what I mean? He goes, that's too big. He needs to fight guys his own size. Carry on doing this, but fight guys his own size, like Pacquiao. Why don't he fight Pacquiao again? I don't think we're going to see Floyd Mayweather fight again. I think the Showtime executive, Steven Espinoza, said that I don't see Floyd doing it again from what he was saying. And maybe he thinks that was the final straw, the way that fight ended, the way it was. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to run this back just to probably beat Logan Paul. Because Mayweather was the type of guy where he was very competitive. And what I mean by that is, whenever a fight was close, he always wanted to run it back. And I'm not saying this was close. This was an exhibition, but Floyd wanted to put the wrong right. And would he want to knock out Logan Paul in the rematch and think to himself, it was embarrassing that I didn't get him out of there? Or will he just walk away and not care? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't affect his legacy in any way. It was a Mickey Mouse. It was an exhibition. It wasn't a proper fight. But in terms of Mike Tyson saying that Floyd should fight Manny Pacquiao, that ain't happening. Let's be honest, that ain't gonna happen. Floyd Mayweather ain't fighting Manny Pacquiao, and he shouldn't. He shouldn't, because he'll end up losing, and that will ruin his legacy. So I think he should stay well away from any active world championship level fighter now. Clearly, he looked awful against McGregor. He didn't look great against Logan Paul. Now, that could be down to the fact that of the unorthodox nature of those fighters as well, but they're throwing weird punches from weird angles. They're not technical boxers. But nevertheless, Floyd Mayweather did look out of sorts in both fights. He didn't look too good. You expected Mayweather to look a lot better than what he did. You saw glimpses here and there, but, Mayweather didn't look great. And I know Logan Paul didn't allow him to fight because he kept grappling and holding and all of that, but still Mayweather didn't look too good himself. And Pacquiao still looked very good 2 years ago against Thurman. And obviously, let's see how Pacquiao looks in August. But there's no way, even if Pacquiao was to pull off the win against Spence, there's no way Floyd can come back and beat him, in my opinion. So there's no point of him trying to fight Pacquiao. I don't think it'd be wise for Floyd to fight any active fighter. And like I said, the Showtime executive, Steven Espinoza, kind of gave it away when he said, I don't think Floyd is going to be fighting again. I think that was the final fight. I can't see him coming back, and I don't think he's going to be doing any exhibitions. I think at the least, I think he may want to run this back, possibly. I won't be surprised if they have a rematch, just so Floyd can maybe look to stop him conclusively. But again, I don't think... Here's the thing. The reason why Floyd wasn't able to get Logan Paul out of there, Floyd throws single shots. Now, against boxers of his own size, he's able to win a decision. Fighters back in the day, as he got older, he stopped throwing combinations. Pretty boy Floyd threw combination punches. In order to get someone like Logan Paul out there, you need to throw combination punches, not single shots, especially against a bigger guy that was so much bigger than him. He's going to be able to absorb his shots, and Floyd Mayweather wasn't really putting punches together. If he had put combination punches together, he may have been able to overwhelm Logan Paul. But Floyd Mayweather is not known for being a combination puncher in recent times. He throws single shots. And the fact that he's fighting a bigger man, he's a bit cautious himself. He doesn't want to get hit. Floyd Mayweather's always been the type of guy where he doesn't like to get hit. He's a defensively sound fighter. Earlier on in his career, when he was fighting smaller guys, he was willing to take more risks. And he was more of a combination puncher, but he hasn't been like that for a very long time. And very rarely you see Floyd Mayweather throw combination punches. He throws single shots. And maybe against someone like Logan Paul, he needed to throw combination punches, throw ones, twos, threes to look to get him out of there. But, you know, he was throwing single shots, and Logan Paul was able to absorb those shots, those single shots, and he was grabbing hold, surviving, you know, making it a messy fight. And he managed to survive the 8 rounds. But yeah, I don't think Floyd Mayweather is capable of fighting any top-level boxer. And I think he made that quite clear. I think he also made that quite clear that I'm retired, I'm finished. I'm not fighting any pro boxer. He's not going to fight Pacquiao. He's not going to fight any of the top guys. Like, Errol Spence and Crawford never fight them. But people do think that if Pacquiao was to beat Spence, maybe Mayweather would come back. He's not going to. I think Floyd Mayweather knows that he's not anywhere near the fighter he was. And if he was to come back and fight one of those guys, he'd lose. So Floyd Mayweather isn't going to... Because Floyd Mayweather, although he says it's about currency, it's not about legacy, Floyd Mayweather cares about legacy. He cares about being 50-0. He cares about being undefeated. Right? And I know that Floyd Mayweather in his head will probably feel that if he comes back to face Pacquiao, there's a great chance that he could lose. And I don't think Floyd Mayweather would want to put himself... That's why Floyd Mayweather says, I beat those guys. Why do I need to prove? I did it easy the first time. And to be honest, he did beat Canelo, Pacquiao. There's no reason for him to come back and fight those guys again. He would get, as Mike Tyson said, he would get a huge amount of money for it. But like I said, at this point, does Floyd Mayweather really need to risk his legacy of being undefeated for more money? And to be honest with you, is the Pacquiao fight rematch going to be as big as it was the first time? It's not. It may be close, it may be massive, and he would get paid definitely 9 figures. He'd get paid a huge amount of money. But I don't think it'd surpass the McGregor fight or the first Pacquiao fight. I don't think he'd get paid more than that. So he'll be risking his undefeated record, and there's a great chance that Pacquiao would beat him this time because Pacquiao's active and he's been fighting top level opposition, whereas Mayweather's been fighting, you know, YouTubers and MMA fighters, and he fought that kickboxer, you know. And when was his last big fight? His last big fight was against Berto. That was 2015. His last big fight was 2015. You know, that's 6 years ago. So it's more than half a decade ago. So, to be honest with you, I think it's best for him to stay retired. He's a legend. He's an all-time great, and I don't think on his recent performances, he's 44, been inactive for 6 years. That's too long to come back and fight at championship level, and that's why Floyd he's very intelligent. He knows that his limitations. He knows that he can't come back and compete with a Pacquiao or compete with a Crawford or Spence. Otherwise, he would come back. But he's 44 years of age. Remember, Floyd Mayweather retired and then came back and he fought Marquez and he was razor sharp. But that was a younger Floyd Mayweather. That was a Mayweather that wasn't that old. And really, if you look at it, when he came back, when he had that first stint and then he came back and fought Marquez, that's where he made majority of his money. He signed that huge deal, that historic deal with Showtime. And then the amount of money that he made after fighting Marquez, his second comeback, or his comeback after retiring, and then he came back and fought Marquez. After that, he didn't look back in terms of finance and revenue. The purses that he made were crazy. He took his career to another level, Floyd Mayweather, from a financial point of view. But he was young then. That was a young Floyd Mayweather. This now is a Floyd Mayweather that's way past his prime. And for me, what he was doing, he was fighting these guys, and he still likes the limelight. He still likes the limelight. That's why he's fighting guys like Logan Paul, making a lot of money. And what he wants to show is, I can still make more money than all of the fighters in world boxing today. I'm still the biggest attraction in world boxing today, even though I'm not a world championship level fighter. I think for Floyd Mayweather, it's about staying in the limelight as well. And he probably misses it, but he also knows that he can't really come and compete at world championship level against the guys that are there right now. And he knows that he would himself risks himself losing. So Floyd Mayweather doesn't, at this stage, wouldn't want to lose, would he? So for me, it would be best for Floyd to, to probably not do any of this. I think he was a little upset that he didn't get him out of there. And he was saying that he was trying to grab and hold. And I think he was a little frustrated because he wanted to get Logan Paul out of there. Because I kind of think what Floyd Mayweather didn't want to happen in the sense that it was kind of embarrassing that he didn't get him out of there, where he wanted to make huge amount of money, easy paydays, and then it'd be an easy night's work where he gets him out of there. But the fact that he didn't get him out of there and people are criticizing that, that's something that Floyd probably didn't want to happen. But at the same time, he didn't want it to be a complete farce where he knocks him out in a round. This is why stuff like this, I don't think he wins, apart from financially where he obviously wins. But in terms of the credibility of it, if he knocks him out in a round, people are going to say it's a farce. If it doesn't knock him out like he didn't, people are going to say, well, he went the distance with a YouTuber. Even though it shouldn't really matter because it's an exhibition, but it's just natural. People are going to say it may be an exhibition, but he could have still knocked him out. And it was 8 rounds. It wasn't like it was 2 or 3 rounds. 8 rounds is a long time to survive against one of the greatest fighters. And when you're a YouTuber, it doesn't matter the size. I know people keep bringing up the size, but Logan Paul's not a top-level boxer. Yeah, so, you say, oh, he's a cruiserweight, he's a heavyweight, but he's not a top-level boxer. He's not a top-level heavyweight. Or, he's not even a British level, he's not a top-level heavyweight or cruiserweight, is he? So people were expecting Floyd to stop him. But again, I do think that obviously Floyd's days as a championship fighter, he himself says it's not there, and he's not going to come back and fight because he knows it would be a mistake for him to come back and fight a Pacquiao now. I don't even think that'd be that competitive, if I'm honest. I don't think it'd be that competitive. I don't think Floyd has the reflexes anymore. Also, it was quite surprising how many punches he missed. I think his hand speed isn't as fast as it used to be. And I actually think his defense is not, although it's still really good, it's not as good as it used to be. Like, Conor McGregor landed shots. Now, I don't know whether that was because he was just walking him down. If Floyd wanted to make it, get behind that defensive shield of his, maybe, nobody would be able to hit him still. But again, he just looked a lot slower to me in the McGregor fight. And the McGregor fight was a couple of years ago. And even in this fight, it wasn't the razor-sharp Floyd. So to be honest with you, I think people should let Floyd be. He's had a great career. He doesn't need to fight, Pacquiao, anyone to prove anything. He's already fought those guys. He won the fights. And he needs to sail off in the sunset. That's why I think he always brings it up and says, well, why do I need to fight Canelo again? Why do I need to fight Pacquiao again? I already fought them. I already beat them. I don't need to prove anything. And he's right. But as long as he keeps fighting and doing these exhibitions, people will keep bringing it up because he's still keeping himself out there. He's still fighting. So people will say, why not fight Pacquiao? He's your size. He's your age. I think it's stupid that people that say that Floyd should fight Canelo again, because that is ridiculous. Because Canelo's a super middleweight now. But in terms of Pacquiao, even Pacquiao is active. He's still a world championship level fighter. Whereas Mayweather's not. Mayweather's fighting, kickboxers and MMA guys and YouTubers, So he's not an active current world championship level fighter. So I think even to say he should fight Pacquiao and Pacquiao's the same age, it's not a good comparison. Because Pacquiao's still active. He's still world championship level. Floyd Mayweather's not. So that's my take on it anyway. Leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think about what Mike Tyson had to say. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.